This week's episode of I Was a Teenage Film Snob is not brought to you by fangs, fur, fins, or full moons. Welcome to I Was a Teenage Film Snob. I'm James Chalmers, your friendly neighborhood film snob, and this is our Halloween spooktacular. That's me doing a spooky voice, and I apologize for that. Um, Been a minute since done an episode, but really want to get something down on wax for Halloween because it's the best time of the year. It's my favorite time of the year, and we always do a Halloween special. So today, joining me, it's not just me, of course. I found the spookiest person in Scotland I could find. It's my wife, Tina. Welcome
Hello.
back to the show.
Spooky or scary?
I was being nice.
Yeah.
I don't think you're scary.
No, when I haven't had food, I'm scary.
Aren't we all?
Yeah.
How are you going? How are you enjoying the spooky season thus far?
Yeah, good. I'm going pretty good. I'm surprised that um all the Halloween decorations in store came out really early.
Mm,
But like the decorating of people's houses seems to be quite late. Like we
mm,
saw a couple today as we drove around.
yes.
But I think like we saw maybe like four
Yeah, and it's the same
houses.
thing. Everyone used ropes for spider webs,
Yeah.
put but big spiders in them.
Yeah.
I wonder whether maybe like the lead up to Halloween, like in the week leading up, they'll start doing it because like it's less than a week now.
Yeah,
So
but well it's less than a week now.
maybe
So I
those
would think wouldn't you be doing it now?
I don't know, maybe they're just waiting for the weekend. Like
Maybe.
maybe they're waiting to for your birthday to pass,
But if
like
you're
oh, we'll get that out of the way and then
but if you're putting up all these huge decorations, because like from what I've seen in the area that we're staying in, like what they say on Facebook,
Mm,
um, people really get into it, like full on. They have like haunted houses in their front yards.
mm.
And like it's a whole experience. Like you can walk through and all this kind of stuff like that. And I just haven't seen any of that.
Some of the stuff we saw today was cool. They had that giant skeleton coming out of the ground. I liked
Yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah, that was cool.
We went to a pumpkin patch.
We went to a pumpkin patch today, our first ever pumpkin patch. We've never been to one before because what is the point?
Yeah, did it remind you of Hay Place from The Office?
It did. The thing that I don't understand about the pumpkin patch is, and I don't like, because this is the thing, this is not a thing in Australia.
Correct.
We do not have pumpkin patches. Like that is not something that exists. So American listeners, like, let us know what it is, like if it has changed. Because my idea of a pumpkin patch was that all the pumpkins were growing on the vine,
Mm,
and I knew before today that that's not what it is.
mm,
But like, if you asked me this time last year,
mm,
I would have been like, yeah, the pumpkins, like you go to the place where they're growing the pumpkins
mm,
and then you pick out your pumpkin and you go, I want that one because I want to carve that one. They go, okay, and you cut it off the vine, much like you would a Christmas tree.
mm. Or like if you went strawberry picking or something.
Yeah, or if you go strawberry picking, you're picking the strawberries off the plant. You're not looking at pre-cut vegetables
Yeah, there
that
was
are
no
already that are just placed there.
there was no evidence that this farm we went to was even a pumpkin farm.
No, it wasn't. It's not a pumpkin
So it
farm.
feels like they just bought a bunch of
Yes, that's
pumpkins and
right.
put them in the
That's
hay.
exactly what happened. And from my understanding, that is what majority of places do
Mm.
because majority of farms are not pumpkin farms.
Well, I guess like aside from October, like when do you need like a farm that is exclusively pumpkins?
I suppose that's right.
Although if you remember like years, I'm saying like 10 years ago when we lived in
Mhm.
Lilydale, I accidentally spilled some pumpkin seeds in the backyard and then we started
Yeah,
growing pumpkins.
because I made that no, it was because I made that jack-o'-lantern, our first ever
Mm.
jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern, listen to me so Aussie.
Oh, jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then yeah, we were chucking it in the bin.
Mm.
and the pumpkin seeds came out, and then we started growing a little pumpkin vine
Yeah, and
on our artificial grass.
I remember I was like, "Can we just leave this?" And
Yeah,
like everyone
we
was like,
just yeah.
"No, you can't. Like it's gonna."
It's fun to see how long it grew. Well, it
Yeah,
didn't make a pumpkin, but it did
Mm.
grow a flower.
Yeah,
But it was yeah, it was
and that's what
literally
you want for
growing out of
Halloween, the
concrete.
flower.
But
Um,
yeah, I don't understand. So you go there,
mm,
you pick up a pumpkin that you can buy for literally like 60p at the store.
yeah,
Is it for the photos? Because I didn't see anyone taking photos. Is
yeah.
it for just
I think it's just the
the
novelty.
novelty of
It's
going,
like
oh, look at all the
because if you
pumpkins?
think about it, like because like we're jaded, we're adults, like
But
we
also
know,
Halloween for us is not
but
in
like
autumn.
but
Halloween for us is in spring.
but take just remove
Yeah.
that from the equation. Like we're adults, we're jaded, we know how the sausage is made when it comes
Yes.
to Christmas and Easter and all that sort of stuff. So I think really it's like what's more exciting for children to go to the store and buy pumpkins
Yeah.
or go to the pumpkin patch
Yeah.
and go to the spooky
Yeah.
entrance and stuff like
But
that.
my question is,
Mm.
was there ever a time, like I'm assuming like in the 1800s there was a time, but I'm talking about it, was there ever a time in the last,
Three
you know,
weeks.
I don't know, 10 years or 20
Mm.
years or something, where the pumpkins grew on the vine? Is this just a recent thing? Or
Mm.
is it something where it's like, no, 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 this has always been the way that it's been?
I imagine
I wonder.
it must stem from something like real. Like I mean,
Yes,
and like it's been
yes.
approximated
And
and
that
kind
would
of
be
like
going to a real pumpkin
yeah, they
farm to
probably would
pick
have
up
done
the
that sort of thing. And
pumpkins.
then over time, like they're like, ah, it's more easy. It's easier
Oh,
just to do
yes,
this. Yeah.
absolutely. Because
Um,
of the gimmick and because they can charge money for it and all that sort of stuff.
there are Americans
But
listening
yeah,
right now who are like,
but I'm
what
just sort of
idiots.
idiots. But yeah, so I just thought it was, I just, because we just don't have that in Australia. And
Mm,
obviously I wanted to do it because we've never been to a pumpkin
mm,
patch before. And I had a good time.
mm.
But I just thought it was interesting that the pumpkins are already like it's not like they're growing
Yeah,
pumpkins. They
they
literally just like went to the shops and bought a whole bunch of
and just
pumpkins
put
and
them
then
in
just
some
put them in
hay.
some hay
Yeah.
and go, here, kids, pick your pumpkin.
Yeah. And by pick we mean just choose, not
Yeah.
like pick it off the vine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was kind of interesting. And I bet you like it's a safety thing as well. Like, because the pumpkin vines do have like a bit of, like
Those
the
little,
thorns and stuff.
yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah. The
so I bet
tiny
you
little
I like
spikes.
I bet you there's like a whole bunch of reasons as to why they've done it
Yeah.
this way.
Because the Christmas tree farm,
Yeah.
you go and pick your Christmas tree and they cut it down for
Yeah, but
you.
you don't cut it down, do you? You don't get a
No,
chainsaw.
they cut it
So
down.
same
But
thing.
also, like they have pre-cut ones there too,
Yeah.
as well. But I suppose that's for freshness. But then I suppose the pumpkin, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, we did go to Pumpkin
Mm,
Patch
we did.
Farm
Yes.
and it was good. It was, I mean, like the spooky decorations were pretty cheap.
Scared Zoe.
Scared
She
Zoe
was
though.
talking about it.
Yeah.
I was just putting her to bed before, and she was
Yeah.
like, "Why are they so scary?" I'm like, "I thought they weren't real." And then she was telling me, she was
Yeah.
asking me about ghosts. I'm like, "Well, ghosts aren't real." And she's like, "I wish they were." And I was like, "Why?" And she's like, "I don't know." And then she fell asleep. Haunted
Yeah.
little child.
Yes. Um, but yeah, so I knew that this I think see I have this real problem because I love Halloween,
Mm,
but now that I have a child who is old enough to understand and have an imagination, like in the
mm,
previous years, she wouldn't bat an eyelid at a skeleton because she doesn't know what it is.
mm.
But now that she has an imagination, she understands monsters and stuff like that. For the next 6 years,
Yeah.
Halloween is going to be hard time to manage. Maybe
Well,
not 6 years, maybe like another 3 years.
but also, like when we go back, it won't be as prevalent. Like there will be
That's
stuff.
I think that's the other thing because in Australia
Mm,
it's not a massive thing. So you're really not seeing and all the you know what I've noticed as well? All of the Halloween stuff in Australia is really cutesy. So it's like
mm.
cute little ghosts and cute little vampires and cute little this, whereas here all of the Halloween stuff is like fucking terrifying.
Oh, they've got scary stuff in Australia as well. If you go
They,
like a costume shop, or if you
yeah,
go to
yeah, but like you have to go to
mm,
like if you just go into Aldi, for
yeah.
example, you're just gonna find cutesy wootsy little
Mm.
things. Um,
But you don't know. Like I had a fascination with horror when I was a child. Like I was
mm,
interested. Like I was always like, we go to the video store and I would try and sneak into the horror section because I just wanted to see the cool artwork and stuff.
yeah,
And I would have nightmares and get scared for a little bit. But by the time I was like 7 or 8, like I was
yeah,
mostly growing out
yeah,
of it.
that's
Like,
right.
and she'll probably be fine as well because she's already shown interest. She's like,
Yeah,
she's kicking down the door to watch Goosebumps. I'm like, yeah, no. I looked before you even found out. I was really on the fence about it. I was like, oh, maybe. I was like, another pull, but I went into. Thankfully, like I pulled up some screen grabs. I saw something. I'm like, no, like this is
No,
just a little bit too scary.
no.
Even like Adam's Family. We got Adam's Family. Um, and like at one point, I think Uncle Fester throws a toaster in a bath. I'm like, no,
Yeah.
we don't need the foil to try and replicate like,
Yeah, throwing
that.
a toaster in the bath.
Yeah. Um, cool. So we've done that. And have
Mm.
you been redundant question? Maybe not a redundant question. 'Cause you've been watching some stuff. Have you been watching anything to get in a spooky mood? Have you been going down like
Actually,
get ready for
this
some
hasn't been
hardcore?
this hasn't been to get in the spooky mood, because I'm trying to write a story that involves like teenage romance and the
Mm,
angst around that and all that sort of stuff like that. So I rewatched all of the Twilight movies,
mm,
and I'm watching Vampire Diaries at the moment as
mm,
well. And I tell you what, I was watching because I'm starting from season one of Vampire Diaries, and while you were playing with Zoe, I was watching this one episode. And like obviously it's just like a show for the CW, so it
mm,
can't be like too scary, too gratuitous or
mm,
whatever. But this episode must have been for Halloween or something because it was scary.
mm,
Because it was like the ghost of a witch comes back and possesses her ancestor.
mm.
And it was just like I was getting like because I've seen what happens, I know what happens.
Yeah.
But I was getting shivers and I was like, this is I don't
Well,
know.
that's why we stopped watching Sabrina.
Yeah.
Because we were watching Sabrina, and I was like, yeah, this is kind of cheesy, but like, if you're showing interest in horror, like, I'm gonna stick around. And then goes an episode, and you're like, I can't watch it, too scary. I
Yeah.
had to stop.
Yeah.
I've been watching Agatha all along, the Marvel
Yeah.
series, and I think I'm 4 episodes in, and I think the show finishes this week, so I'm gonna try and catch up before Halloween if I can. And I was watching the first few, I'm like, Tina will totally dig this. Like, it's witchy, it's cool, it's fun. But the last episode I watched, which was awesome, did have a couple of like visuals. I was like, I don't know whether like the witch design was like it was like I don't know if it was a witch, it was like a demon. Because I've been watching it very late at night, so I've
Mm.
been like a little bit sleepy as well. The show itself is fantastic, but just the visual, like the prosthetics, and so I was like, oh, this might be just a bit much for Tina. So,
Mm.
um,
I don't know.
but it's cool. It's a good show.
And so yes, I've been rewatching all of the Twilight movies.
Mm.
And when I say rewatching, like I basically watched the start of New Moon and the end of New Moon and nothing in the middle because God, I fucking hate New Moon.
Mm.
Um, but I tell you what, that first movie, it's not good.
How many times did you see it in theaters?
I don't
It was at
know.
least three.
I don't know. But like there's moments of it where you're like, oh, that's really good. And then there's other moments where you're like, this is shit. Oh my God. Like some of the acting, I mean, we all know a lot of the acting choices aren't very good. But like the special effects, like the running, like hold on tight, spider monkey and
There's some
running up the
weird ones.
tree and
Yeah.
it's just kind of like, oof. Um,
Baseball scene's still cool,
yeah,
or does
it's
it
not as
feel,
cool as it was
or does it
back
feel like it's trying to
then.
be edgy?
No, it's not feel like it's trying to be edgy. It's just kind of like, oh yeah, it's a product of its time,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
But
Um,
also, you're no longer the audience for that movie. Like you
no,
were
that's
10,
right.
15 years ago,
Yes,
but you're not
exactly. But I'm
anymore.
not anymore. That's right. Um, and then yeah, and so I just finished Breaking Dawn the other night, and I didn't remember anything of that movie. All I remembered was like the honeymoon and spoiler alert, um, Bella dying and becoming a vampire, and like I don't remember what happened after that. And then there was obviously like the Volturi came at the end.
But I
I
still
didn't
haven't
remember.
seen
You
either of
haven't
those
seen
two.
it,
I've seen the first three.
yeah.
And I remember after the third one, because I think like looking back, because I've seen, yeah, you were into Twilight and we
Yeah,
were dating, therefore I saw the movies.
yeah, that's right.
Um, because I would drag you to so many of mine. Like when you one of yours come, like, well, I should probably go with
Yeah,
you. Um,
and that was in the peak snobbery stage as well,
I don't
wasn't it?
know.
Wasn't it?
Well, I don't know if it was.
Well, you certainly weren't the way you are now with
No.
movies.
Like now I'm very like, hey, let's give it a go.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but I remember liking Eclipse and you not liking Eclipse. And you're like, I think I'm done with these movies. I was like, oh, really? I actually like this one better than the first two, I think. Because I think
Mm,
Eclipse had like some proper fighting in it. So I was
yeah,
like, oh, there's actually like stuff going on.
yeah.
of course now you want to stop watching them. Now that, like, yeah, it's not romancy enough.
Yeah.
So I've never gone. I could never like justify seeing watching the final two movies on my own. So I was like, ah, I'll check them out. I want to check them out. I still haven't got to them, but
Mm.
I've heard there's like a pretty like it's a bait and switch. Spoilers for like a 10-year-old
Yeah,
film,
yeah, yeah,
but they're
yeah,
pretty intense like fight scene in the last one. So I am keen to like
yeah.
finish the job. Like, and it's
Um,
interesting going back seeing all the actors who were in that franchise.
mm.
Like,
Rami Malek's in it.
yeah, Rami Malek
Yeah.
and Anna Kendrick, which I remembered, but in an interview she forgot she was in Twilight. Um, Xavier Samuels, who's an Australian actor, is in one of them.
Yeah.
What's her name? Bryce Dallas
Yeah,
Howard.
Bryce
Like,
Dallas
there's some
Howard.
really Bryce Dallas Howard also in Spider-Man 3. She's Gwen Stacy.
Mm.
Um, yeah, there's some interesting like. I think everyone started to cotton on like, oh my God, like if you want to make some money, go with these
Yeah.
Twilight films.
Mm.
And that's why I don't begrudge them because people always like it doesn't happen so much anymore. Like I think we've evolved a bit as like a movie watching culture. But I remember like back when they're coming out, people were like, "Oh, Rob Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, like, they're terrible actors. They're no good. Like these films suck." And I'm like, Robert Pattinson and Kristen Stewart, are the smartest duo in Hollywood
Yeah.
because they're cashing fat checks
Hmm.
because so many tweens are seeing these movies again and again and again. And then
Hmm.
once this franchise is done, they never have to work in a franchise ever again. They can
Yeah.
make whatever they want. And they did.
They
Like
did. That's right.
Robert Pattinson did I haven't seen
Remember Me?
I haven't seen that one. I haven't seen
Mm.
Cosmopolis, but that's meant to be quite good.
Mm.
But he was obviously he's the Batman. He was in
Mm.
Good Time. Like he's done a lot of really interesting work. And Kristen Stewart, like she was in Underwater, which was fantastic.
Diana?
Diana, which I haven't seen either.
Yeah.
Is it called that? Is it called like
Spencer. It's called
Spencer?
Spencer.
But she's been like they've done a bunch of really interesting things. Love Lies Bleeding was another Kristen Stewart one this year. Like they're both good actors. They worked with what they had, but also they probably were like, does it matter?
Well,
Like,
I was talking to Maddie about it, and then yeah, I found some interviews with it because I was watching it and I was like, why is Robert Pattinson choosing to move his face in this way or react in this way or do this way? I was like, that's really a weird choice. And then there's other times where you're like, fuck, wow, he is like jaw drop gorgeous.
mm.
And I go, so why are we flip-flopping between these two
It's
things?
like the girl in
And
Seinfeld who has good side and bad side.
yeah. And then Maddie was saying, she goes, because he was doing the character the way that he wanted to do the character.
Hmm.
And the director was like, no, 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 you got to do it this way.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where they were like, you have one day to turn yourself around or you're fired. And so
Wow.
then all the bits where he's like really good, that's Robert Pattinson's choice.
Yeah.
All the bits where he's really shit, that's the director's choice.
That's so like it's not quite like giving a line reading, but it's just
Mm.
like if you cast someone, like yes,
You got to trust them
you got
to
to
do
direct
the
them, but
thing.
like yeah, like
But I think they were scared because the fan base was so massive and
mm,
because the fan base wanted it to be as true, as true, as true, as true, as true, as true as possible. That like it's like if you don't stick to, because there's quotes from like Catherine Hardwicke who directed it. She's like, this book is our Bible, and like
mm.
we're doing this for the fans. And so if you don't do it exactly
Didn't
the
she
way that
get
it's,
fired? Like she never came back to do another
he never
one.
came back to do another
Yeah,
one.
like that was the thing.
Yeah,
Like yeah, I think I don't know.
because
Um,
from that point on, it was all male directors,
hmm.
which I noticed was very interesting. Um, but also the movies got better. But that's not a point on her being a female director. I think I don't know anything else
It
that
was probably
she,
less her and probably more. Like, Catherine Hardwicke's done some stuff. She's done
yeah.
some like I'll pull it up while while we're
But also
talking.
like the budget was tiny for the first
It would
Twilight
have been
movie.
studio
And
interference. It's
it wasn't, yeah,
always
that's exactly
studios
right.
getting
It's
involved.
always studios getting involved. But I'm like the scene where he comes out of the car is like every girl's like dream. It's like James Dean, Danny Zuko, sort of like, oh my God, the hot guy is walking me into school. But then other bits like the spider monkey bit, I'm like, what the fuck? As if you could outrun me. As if you could fight me out. I was just like, what? Or like the whole delivery of, and so the lion fell in love with the lamb. I'm like, so the lion is lame. Like that was the
Mm.
lamest bit. And I was just kind of like, oh, it had like so much potential to be like so hot and so good.
Yeah, like her first movie was 13, which is
Yeah, that's right, with Nikki Reed.
oh, she's in that, of
Yeah,
course. Um,
13 is intense.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah.
She did a Jesus movie, and she's done a bunch of interesting stuff.
Yeah.
Like she's always done pretty
No,
like
I don't think it's
yeah.
the director. I think it's literally just like too many chefs spoiling the broth
Mm,
and just trusting Robert. But at the same time, Robert Pattinson was like 22 at the time.
mm.
So he's like, there's another quote that he said where he's like, I was literally putting in for every single job I could.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't matter what crossed my, like, I was going for it.
But like it was the right choice
It's the
because
right choice, that's right.
it put him on the map, and then like he
Exactly.
got a chance to like kind of prove himself, and again
Yeah.
like made that fat cash.
Yeah.
Like um,
But that
so
what
because
I was
he
gonna get
had
back
the
to.
Daniel Radcliffe career, like, and the Harry
Yeah,
Potter
that's
films are
right.
certainly better than the Twilight films, but there are some Harry Potter films and definitely moments Harry Potter was like, this
No,
is,
exactly.
but then Daniel Radcliffe of that trio in particular has done nothing but interesting work. Like Rupert
Yeah.
Grint is, I think, semi-retired, and Emma Watson's done some things, but like Daniel Radcliffe's like, yeah, I'll be a fighting corpse, yeah, like super
Yeah.
glue guns to my hand, like
Yeah.
yeah, like I'll do this. Like he's been very ballsy and done interesting stuff. Yeah.
But yeah, the special effects and the CGI does not
Mm.
hold up. Oh, that like the pictures that you've seen of the baby.
Yeah.
That's not the baby. They don't use that in the movie.
Oh,
So
okay.
what happened was they made that puppet. It's like a puppet
Yeah.
sort of thing, and they just none of the cast could like work with it because it was just absurd.
Mm.
So they ditched it and they put in a CGI baby
Mm.
because it needed to have like big eyes or something like
Mm.
that because it's described as having big eyes. The fucking CGI baby is weird. Like
Yeah.
not as weird as that puppet baby thing, but it's still fucking weird,
Yeah.
man. You look at it and you're just like, why? Uh, why? Why is its eyes moving slower than its head does? It's like one aspect of its face can't catch up when it turns its head.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so I've been getting into my vampire sort of jam, basically. So yeah.
Nice.
Mm.
So very spooky Halloween stuff.
Yeah, very spooky.
I haven't
What
watched
about
my
you?
I haven't watched my I watched Agatha as I said, I've been watching that, which has been good. I because I've just been working with the pile of Blu-rays that I've been purchasing over here. Like I watch a couple of horror things. Like I wouldn't really call Soylent Green a horror film. Like it's more of a sci-fi thing, but I guess that's kind of I watched The Witches. That's kind of
Mm.
spooky. I really liked that was the remake, and I thought it was really yeah quite
I really want to
enjoyable.
watch that.
You can. It's sitting there still, so we haven't shipped it back to Australia yet. Um, but yeah, like over the last week, I've been kind of watching just random stuff. So I haven't really gone into the spooky season the way I would normally. Although I've got High Life up there, which is also a Robert Pattinson film, and that's meant to be kind of scary. So like a sci-fi horror. So I'll check that out
Okay, cool.
at some point. But I'll probably just keep working through Agatha and friends of the show, Tyler and Harley, who were on the podcast years ago. Now they finally released their fan film.
Nice.
So I'll watch.
This is the Scream one, is
Yeah,
it?
Scream the fan favorite. It's out on YouTube right now, so I'll probably watch that tonight or tomorrow, and that'll be my Halloween movie maybe.
Nice.
It's nice and short. It's about 45 minutes or something. It's a nice quick watch on YouTube. So yeah. So we didn't just come here to talk about Twilight, although we can keep doing that.
No, it's okay.
For Halloween, we normally try to celebrate in some way. So last year, I think we did best horror sequels. The first year, we just talked about what movies scared us the most. So this year, I thought we'd do a bit of a game, kind of like how we did last Christmas. And if people remember the Christmas episode, they'll be like, wasn't that kind of rushed and last minute? Yes. And was it rushed and last minute this time? Yes. So I've got three like little games or whatever that I thought we'd kind of play. Um, and I imagine they will lead to some discussion as well.
Mm.
So to get the ball rolling, I thought we'd do a Halloween version of the Newlywed Game. So last week we did
Okay.
Christmas.
Yep.
So I've only got a few questions, and
Yep.
whilst I know you like the spooky season, I know that horror isn't your strong point. So we'll kind of play fast and loose with the rules in terms of what kind of counts as horror and what
Yep.
counts and scary, so that way you can participate as
Yep.
well.
Cool.
But the first question, and we didn't do any preparation. I was like, we'll just do it on the night.
Yep.
Is we have to guess each other's favorite scary movie, and I'm going to say in parentheses like Halloween type movie, like
Yep.
so. if you want to take a few minutes to think about what mine might be and also what yours might be, and then we'll guess each other's. I don't know whether you want to write it down or whether you just want
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I don't think I need to write it
to.
down. I've only got one. The problem that I have with this
Mm,
sort of stuff is that I have one idea that enters my brain, and then I can't shake that one thing, and I can't
For
think of
mine or
other
for
things.
yours?
Like for both, just
Yeah.
in general.
Yeah.
Um, so I have the first idea that came into my head for you, but I
Mm,
don't know, I can't think past that idea.
sure.
Um, how many questions do you have?
I have four.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah.
how long do you want to think about it?
Well, I think we shouldn't think too much about it, otherwise that's not going to be very good listening
Okay.
for the audience.
That's exactly right.
Um,
All right. Well,
yeah.
okay. So then I think oh, no, I know what it is.
Okay.
Okay. Your one is Suspiria.
I think it is Suspiria
Yeah.
because I was thinking about it today, and I was like, I
I was
don't.
just about to say The Witch, and then Suspiria came into my
Well, here's
mind.
the thing. I was thinking about today while I was at the playground with Zoe, and I'm like, I don't know if I have a definitive favorite horror film. Like,
Yeah.
I keep like when I was in my teens, early 20s, definitely Friday the 13th. Like
Yes,
that was
that's
my
right.
go-to. But I don't know if I have like a specific one because I just watch a bunch. Like you could throw I Saw the Devil in there, you could throw Midsommar in there, but you wouldn't think of those movies. I don't
Mm,
talk to you about all those movies. But so I think Suspiria is probably like my go-to answer. So I would say
yeah.
Suspiria is
Okay,
definitely one
good.
of them.
Huh.
I was thinking about yours before, and I feel like and we talked about Suspiria last episode, so we don't need to go into
Yeah.
too much. I feel like if I'm going down the monster route, kind of a Halloween horror type vibe for you. I was thinking maybe like Nightmare Before Christmas
Yes.
or Corpse Bride. Like
Yes.
that's what I was
Yeah,
thinking.
yeah, yeah. It's absolutely Nightmare Before Christmas. And
Yeah.
then as I was thinking about, I was like, oh yeah, maybe Corpse Bride.
Mm,
I haven't seen Corpse Bride in a really long time.
mm.
I would say that it's more Nightmare Before Christmas because I consider Corpse Bride more of a romantic sort of film. Like it's not really like Halloweeny, whereas Nightmare Before Christmas is Halloween.
Well, I think that
Like just because Corpse Bride is like a corpse, that doesn't really make it Halloweeny for
I
me.
think that romance is a really common trope of horror,
No,
though.
I think so too. But what I'm saying is, if you're comparing it, the Halloweenness,
Mm,
they literally live in Halloween Town.
fair
So
enough.
it's going to be Nightmare
But
Before Christmas.
Suspiria has nothing to do with Halloween. Like if we were
No,
going
but
specifically for Halloween, I'd probably pick Halloween. Like,
Halloween.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
Alrighty. So next up is what is your partner's favorite monster? So, and it
Okay,
could be like creature. I wouldn't be like saying like hippogriff and stuff
right.
like that, but kind of like,
Yeah. So what is your favorite monster?
yeah. So what's my favorite monster?
As in like classic sort of monster.
So it could
Like we're
be,
talking vampires, we're talking zombies, we're talking mummies. We're
yes,
not talking like
Freddy Krueger.
yeah.
You could get that specific, I think.
Okay.
Um,
Hmm.
but if you want to keep it generic, you could. Like, I'm racking my brain right now, and I don't know what your favorite monster is.
I don't know
Uh,
what my favorite monster is.
mm.
It'd be something from Harry Potter.
But there'd be a monster where like, oh, that's cool. Like, I like the idea.
Like as in like I keep going back to stories with that monster in it.
Possibly,
So like
yeah,
Vampire Diaries, for
yeah,
example, I keep going back to vampires or whatever. I
yeah.
wouldn't say vampires is my favorite.
I'm glad you
Um,
said that because I was gonna say
yeah.
vampires.
Um, I think for you really like zombies, or
Mm.
at least for a big period of our relationship, you really liked zombies and you were into zombie movies. You really like Swamp Thing kind of
I do,
monsters.
yeah, I do.
So that was more the first thing that came into my
Okay,
head. So I would go with like a Swamp Thing, creature from the deep, creature from the fog,
okay.
creature covered in mud kind of monster. You really like that kind of gloopy sort
So,
of
so I
thing.
was thinking about it earlier
The thing,
today. The
the
thing,
thing,
yeah,
that's the one that's set in like
doesn't know.
the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It,
You're because that's the one that like mimics
mm,
stuff. You really like that sort of stuff, I
mm.
think.
So you're definitely on the right track. 'Cause I was thinking about it earlier today. The Gill Man from the Creature from the Black Lagoon
Yeah, you know what I
definitely
mean?
came to
That's
my head.
exactly right.
But I think, like, and I've talked about in the podcast a lot, I think my go-to would be the Xenomorph from Alien. I think
Okay,
that's
yeah,
probably still my favorite. I
right.
think
See, I
like
wouldn't consider that a monster. I would consider that an alien.
And he spits acid and kills people. And
Yeah,
and
but
he's in
he's in
a
a movie called Alien.
which is a horror movie.
Yeah, but about
Well, I also
aliens.
did say like monsters slash creatures. Like,
Well, then I pick Buckbeak.
yeah. I see. I was gonna say Boggart for you. I thought maybe.
Boggart. Yeah,
Mm,
Boggart did cross my mind. I don't know
mm,
why that would be my favorite
neither
monster.
do I.
Um, I like monsters that can, as in the monster that sort of
Oh, Love Monster.
love monster.
Yeah.
Sometimes everything goes right. Um, no, like Sesame Street monster.
Yeah, like Cookie Monster.
Cookie Monster. Yeah, Cookie Monster is my favorite monster.
Gonga.
Gonga. Um, I think if I think about the monster that I'm probably most drawn to in stories or that titillates me the most
Mm,
and gets me anxious because that's what we watch horror movies for,
mm,
it would be mimicking monsters.
mm,
So monsters that learn and monsters that adapt to their
mhm,
environment and then you can't tell them from the crowd sort of thing.
mm.
So
Like the scrolls
yeah. And like that episode Midnight in Doctor Who, like
mm.
that always really scared me.
With the Merlin boy. Is that the one with the
No,
Merlin?
that's the one where they're on the ship and then the woman starts like freaking out. I think it's called Midnight.
Is it like the
Pretty sure
one
it's called
on the
Midnight.
moon or whatever? Like there's a space.
Yeah, they're on.
Yeah, the Merlin boy's in it.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
Melbourne. Oh,
yeah.
okay. Oh,
Because you're like, I can't wait to watch it. You're like, I wish I never watched it.
oh my God, that episode terrified
Mm,
me. Um, so then is that like wouldn't my favorite monster be a monster that doesn't terrify me? I don't
mm.
know. Um, hmm. I don't know. I guess like are we talking like scary monsters or friendly
It's
monsters? Like
whatever. Denny.
what are we
We're just
thinking
having fun. We
here?
have to overanalyze. Like if it's Cookie
Um,
Monster, let's just move.
I'm gonna say Cookie
Cookie
Monster.
Monster.
I'm gonna say Cookie Monster, my favorite. How can you not? Also, his name is Sid.
It is, isn't it?
His name is Sid
Yeah.
because there's like a whole like clip from Sesame Street when Cookie Monster was a baby and his name is Sid. It says it in the song, and then he ate so many cookies that it just called him Cookie Monster.
That
And
would
I'm
be
like,
like
that's brilliant.
that would be like us calling Zoe yogurt
Yeah.
or cheese
Oh,
stick.
not yogurt or cheese stick anymore.
No,
I
no, that's
feel,
changed.
yeah.
Now that'd be like lollies.
Yeah,
Lolly
lollies.
Monster. All right. Third, we're coming to the end of our first round. And what's your partner's favorite Halloween treat?
Okay.
And I will say that by this, like, it doesn't have to be Halloween specific. Like, what would you most want to show up in your trick or treat bag, I guess? Like, so it doesn't have to be
Yeah.
Halloween specific.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess I'm saying like, what's your favorite lolly?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. 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 Okay. So yours would be some sort of like salted caramel chocolate bar. So it would be like a Dame chocolate bar, like not the actual one, but like the
hmm,
block of chocolate that
that
has
is
Dame
that
pieces
is
in
really
it.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it would be like um not a Mars bar or a Snickers or anything like that.
Hmm.
That's all too boring for you. Um, oh, it would be Mike and
It
Ike's.
would 100% be Mike
Yeah,
and
it
Ike's.
would be
Yeah.
Mike and
It would be
Ike's.
that, or like runner up would be like a Whisper Gold or something.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Which is as like maybe more boring than a Mars bar or a Snickers bar, but I really like
yeah.
the because it's the British chocolate. But yeah, Mike and Ike's. I know when I tell American people that they're like, really? Like I guess Mike and Ike's is not a popular candy, but I'm like,
Mm,
I really like them.
yeah,
For you, you would think that like after 15 years or 17, you'd be like, I know exactly the
yeah.
quick thing that she
Well,
wants.
see, this is the thing. We all know what chocolates we eat, but we have different
Hmm.
things for different events.
Like I would
If
think like currently you'd be like, look, if I could just open up my bag and there's like a sleeve of Jaffa cakes that would rock. Or After Eights. I think After Eights is yours.
I think it would be after eight
Yeah.
because I think the thing that would make me most excited would be to open if I opened it. The thing that would make me most excited would be see an entire box of After Eights.
Like, here's how much you enjoy After Eights. This is a true story. It is the only thing you buy from the only thing from the grocery store, like chocolates, lollies,
Yeah,
cereal, whatever, that you will not share.
yeah, no,
Like you cannot touch my
no,
After Eights.
no,
The
no, no.
only
Yeah,
one.
Because I was concerned you were going to say fruit and nut because I do love fruit and nut,
Mm.
but fruit and nut is my um
That's
like
your last line of defense in chocolate warfare because you know that I'll never steal just fruit and
no,
nut.
because no, that's true. That is true. But it's not my only eat a little bit of it chocolate.
Mm.
It is my I could eat the entire thing and not feel disgusting and sick
Mm.
chocolate. Like if it was a Turkish delight block of
Yes.
Cadbury's, I can only eat like two, maybe three rows of that
Mm.
sort of thing. Peppermint, again, the same.
Mm.
Pineapple, oh, love it, but I'd only be able to eat two rows.
Mm.
But fruit and nut,
Mm.
like I can eat that as if it's a piece of bread.
Yeah.
Like I can eat the entire thing and it will not affect me or make me feel like it's too sweet or hurt
Mm.
my teeth or anything like that
It's the
because
perfect balance of
it's basically like the lolly version of bread to me, like bread and butter.
yeah.
Um, so I wouldn't put that in, I wouldn't be excited by that. I'd
Mm.
be like, oh, okay, nice.
Mm.
But I would be excited about an entire box of After Eight.
Yeah.
What else would I really like? Yeah, I think a block of pineapple,
Mm.
Cadbury's pineapple would be really good. Um and Bueno.
Yeah.
I
When it's
do
nice.
love some good Buenos as well.
I did think
But
about
I think
also.
After Eights is what takes it.
I did think about like the tonic stuff as well because obviously tea cakes are really good.
Yeah,
Caramel wafers are good.
yeah.
I tried the snowball. Snowball's nice as
Oh,
well.
nice. Yeah, yeah.
But I think yeah, like the Whisper Gold and Mike and Ike's. Like I don't eat a lot of lollies anymore.
Mm,
Like I'll eat chocolate, but I won't
mm,
like lollies is pretty rare. Like every now and then, like back at home in Australia, like if I have like a long lunch break, I'm like, maybe I'll go to the corner store and get like I think like Coke bottles or sour worms or something. 'Cause I
mm.
just don't have lollies very often.
Yeah.
Um, but Mike and Ike's are like a treat for me. I'm like, yeah, let's just and then
Every time I get them for you as a surprise, you're like, oh,
yeah, like it's yeah, it's like the best.
yeah.
And I know no one will steal them because they've got flavors that no one likes. It's like a cherry
I do
flavor.
like some of them, but
Yeah.
not all of them. Yeah.
Mm. All right. And then the last question of the newlywed game is, and this is,
I
we got,
love how it's newlywed game. We've been together for like 17 years.
that's true, but we didn't
Yeah.
play this game when we were
No, that's true.
newly married. Is this is a bit, I guess, it's a bit more serious. What is your partner's biggest fear?
I know what yours is
Yeah, I think I
immediately.
know what yours is immediately as well.
I don't know if mine's changed.
We'll see when I say it, and
Yeah.
you'll tell me whether I'm right or not.
Yours is heights,
100%.
100% heights. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Yours is water.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
isolation in water,
Isolation in water.
not being
Yeah.
able to
Yeah.
touch the ground
Yeah.
in the
Yeah.
water.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought you were going to say moths.
No.
And it's because for a long time it was. But yeah, I cannot. Like I love being in the water and
Mm,
I love being near water. Like
mm,
for instance, we went to Edzell, like this forest path in a little village called Edzell, and it looks exactly like Rivendell.
mm,
And like the forest path has not like a cliff, but like it slopes down
mm,
to a river. And you were on edge because we were on heights,
mm.
like we were high up. And I was fine like in near the water and stuff like that. I obviously didn't go in the water because it was rushing
And
and
the water
everything.
was fast and it was dark. You could
Yeah, it
like you
was
could see the
dark.
bottom.
It
Yeah.
was dark. That's right. Um, but I can imagine that if I was in that water, I'd be
Very different story.
pretty fucking terrified.
Yeah.
And I cannot stand the concept of like being on a boat in the middle of the ocean. Being on a boat in a lake, fine.
Yeah, you
That's
can see
totally fine. I
land.
can see land. Or even being on a boat in a harbor, I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Mm,
I've been on those little boats that go around to see like seal rocks and stuff like that.
mm.
Like that's fine. I have no issue with that. But if I was to be
Like a cruise ship.
on a cruise ship, I think I would like go insane. I
Mm.
would never look out my window. I would never go out onto the
That's what
deck.
I'm like in planes. Like I
Yeah,
can't
yeah,
I can go on clearly I can go on planes, like where I will in order to do things, but
yeah,
I'm very much like I'll say please.
yeah.
Like give me that one, please. Yeah, like yeah. So
Yeah.
there we go. That is the
But
first.
even like there was something, even just like the visuals. So like you know how like when you sometimes you'll watch like an infographic that shows you how deep the ocean is.
Mm.
Even a cartoon
Yeah.
infographic like sets me on edge. I can't watch it. I have to stop watching it. I remember one time, I don't know if you remember this, but there was there was one time where I had discovered it was the first like it was remember we've been together for 17 years, so it was a
Mm.
long, long time ago. But it was when Google Earth first came out.
I have the same thing. I was literally about to say, like,
Yeah.
if you keep zooming out, like, that messes with me. I'm like, nope. If I zoomed out.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember how it started, but when you typed in Google Earth, it would start off with the picture of the Earth,
Mm.
and then it would do this swooping zoom in across like the eye, just like I couldn't handle it.
Mm.
But I was also really interested in Google Earth because you
Mm.
can find all these different places.
Mm.
But every time you I wonder if, because we use Google Maps now, we don't use Google Earth. I wonder if it still has that same graphic. But I remember like I would want to look at all these different places, but every single time you had to use Google Earth, you had
Mm.
to do that at the start.
Mm.
And you're like, why do you keep doing it, Tina? And I'm
You're
like,
like,
I just close my
enter,
eyes. Yeah.
and then
Yeah, I just enter it
look
and look
away.
away. Because it would just like fill me with this visceral, like,
Mm.
I don't know, it just fucking freaked me out.
Mm.
And yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, well, then we know each other pretty well.
There we go. Yeah, we were both right straight away. I was like,
Yeah.
I know this one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
All right, well, that was the first game.
Okay, cool.
So the next game, we're talking about monsters and villains from different eras in Hollywood.
Yeah.
So from like the black and white age through to the present day. And I've come up with some lists. Some lists are longer than others.
Mhm.
And all I want you to do is tell me which monster of the bunch per era is your favorite,
Okay.
but also which one you find the scariest.
Hmm.
And then we can kind of get into like, do you think you could survive that person, or that monster, that person, or not? Like, we can kind of get into that if we decide
Yeah.
to. Um, if, for example, a monster shows up in multiple eras, say Dracula,
Mm.
they're only showing up in one era. I'm not doing like
Yeah,
Dracula from
yeah,
the
yeah.
70s, Dracula from the 80s, Dracula
Dracula
from
2000.
yeah, like Blackula, like
Yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like
yeah.
that. So starting with the classic era, which is like 1900s to
Yeah.
1959.
Mm.
These are the OG classic monsters. So the
Hmm.
Phantom of the Opera,
Hmm.
Dracula,
Hmm.
Frankenstein's monster,
Hmm.
the Mummy,
Yep.
the Invisible Man. There's a lot.
Yep.
The Invisible Man, um, Bride of Frankenstein,
Yep.
the Wolfman,
Yep.
the Creature from the Black Lagoon,
Yep.
King Kong,
Yep.
and Count Orlok, who's Nosferatu. He's the
Nosferatu. Yeah.
so of all of those, which do you think is your favorite? And it can be favorite just based on the way they look,
Yeah.
or it could be like, oh, I've seen them in this movie or whatever. I think they're cool, that sort of thing.
I think I don't think I've seen any of those
Yeah,
movies.
sure.
I think Bride of Frankenstein is my favorite because I really like that
Hair.
imagery of the hair with the lightning bolts going up it. I
Yeah.
think she looks really cool.
Mm.
Yeah, I think she's my favorite. I do really like King Kong as well.
We watched King Kong.
We watched
Well,
King
I
Kong,
watched it. You
that's right.
watched
And
about
I
half of it.
thought, especially for the time it was made, I thought that was really cool.
So with that, I guess like you say, like we take the concept of King Kong because obviously he showed up again in the 50s and 70s
Yeah.
and stuff. So like you can still like talk about Skull Island Kong if you like
Oh,
him.
okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've always really liked the Kong movies. I've
Mm.
always thought they're really, really good. I haven't seen all of them. I
Mm.
haven't seen like King Kong versus Godzilla, for example. Is that a movie?
There are a few of them.
Yeah,
So there's one
that's
from the
right.
50s, there's a couple from the last few years,
Yeah,
and I'm sure there's others as well. There's
yeah,
the one from the 70s with Jessica Lange, which is meant to be really good, but I haven't seen that one.
yeah. So I always really like the Kong movies, because I think they're just they're really good action.
Mm.
I really like the melding of worlds.
Mm.
We go from this jungle um, imagery to, New York City
Yeah.
and everything like that. I really like the message of like not taking like animals and things like that out of the place where they belong, and this human idea of like you can tame an animal and you can't, like they'll destroy you and stuff like that. I don't know anything about Bride of Frankenstein. Like
No.
who is she?
Well, I believe, and I haven't seen it either. I'm trying to get while I've been over here, I've been trying to get the Universal Monsters box set so I can watch them all.
Mm.
And everywhere I've gone, they haven't had it in stock. So I've
Yeah.
been struggling. But I believe she was reanimated as a mate for him.
Okay.
I believe, I could be wrong. And
Yeah.
we could Google this, but we're not going to do that. We're going to make it
Yeah.
up, and listeners
Yeah.
will be like, "What idiots
Mm.
again? Didn't know about pumpkins. Didn't know about Frankenstein. Shut up." Yeah, but I agree. She's very cool
Yeah.
looking.
I think the Invisible Man is probably the one that I would struggle to fight against the most.
Mm,
Because Frankenstein's easy. All you got to do is light a fire and he
yeah.
freaks out. Um, but the Invisible Man would, yeah, be like the hardest one to fight.
Mm.
Um,
Especially, and you haven't seen it, but if you watch that remake from a few years
yeah,
ago,
yeah,
like
exactly.
that
With
one was, yeah,
Elizabeth, what's her name?
um, not Banks, not Olsen, the other one,
Yeah,
um, the one from Mad Men,
yeah,
and
Handmaid's Tale.
yeah,
Elizabeth something. I just
yeah.
can't remember it
Sorry,
right now.
Lizzie. We know who you are. We just can't
Mm.
remember your last name. Um, and is there one that particularly scares you of the bunch?
Probably Nosferatu.
Pretty creepy
He is
looking.
really creepy looking.
Yeah, I had to like Zoe
Um,
saw
the
the cover
cover,
and I had
yeah.
to hide
And it's
it.
like, I don't blame you because
Yeah.
his nail, like that whole imagery, I
Mm,
love that like concept of like the nails coming out and the
mm,
shadow and everything. So German expressionist.
mm,
And that and because it lives on again and again and again and again through all of these different types of that reference is made in The Simpsons. That
mm.
reference is made in so many different
What we do in the
vampire movies. What
shadows.
we do in the chat, like it comes up again and again. It just shows you how that imagery is so long lasting.
What's interesting as well, because I didn't know this at the time, but Nosferatu apparently is like a blatant, like, I thought it was like, oh, we're calling it Nosferatu, but this is inspired by the works of Dracula. But apparently, when they made it, they were like, oh, don't tell anyone it's based on Dracula. Like, it's
Mm.
our own movie, but not really. Like, apparently, it
Yeah,
was like a
yeah.
flat, like it was a
Rip
blatant,
off.
like, rip off. Yeah. And it's interesting because that came out, and then a few years later, you get Bela Lugosi as Dracula, and his Dracula is
Mm.
like, I don't drink wine. And
Oh,
he's like,
okay, yeah,
hello.
yeah.
Like, and he's like inspires the Count. Like,
Yeah,
that's like
yeah.
the
Mm.
Transylvania accents. It was interesting how like two different cultures approached what Dracula looked like in
Mm.
such different ways.
Yeah, that's
Like he's got
right.
like the widow's peak and like the slick
Yes,
back hair, and he's like a
exactly.
gentleman, whereas Count Orlok is literally like a
Yeah, that's right.
monster.
He's a monster. That's
Mm.
exactly right.
Uh,
Um, I just can't not mention this because I remember, was it a movie or was it a play? I think I saw a play because it was a puppet.
mm.
I saw a play.
Was it
Oh, and you know
the
what? I'm
Forgetting
just
Sarah Marshall? Is it the
what?
remember Forgetting Sarah Marshall had the Dracula musical?
No, no, no.
That,
I'm going to talk to you about two plays that I saw.
okay.
So this one play that I saw years and years ago, I had to see it for school. I think I was in school.
Mm,
We went and saw this Frankenstein play, and Frankenstein was a puppet, and
mm,
he was this little puppet. Like he was probably this, like, no, he wouldn't go up higher than my knee.
mm,
Like he was this tiny little marionette puppet. And so like all the villagers, when they come to like kill this creature and stuff like that, you really feel for him because he's
mm,
this little baby-sized puppet sort of thing like
mm.
that. But I'll never forget. I don't know if it happens in the book or not, because we had to read it for literature, didn't we? And
No,
like
we had Dracula
we
for
had Dracula
literature,
for
which
literature.
I still have.
I thought we had Frankenstein as well.
We may have. I didn't read any of the books
I
at
didn't read
uni.
any of the books either. But like he got an erection in the play. Like the puppet gets an erection when he
Oh,
sees the girl
oh,
because he
okay.
like falls in love with the girl or whatever. And can I just say, as a teenager, watching a play where a puppet gets an erection is fucking weird, man.
Mm,
And then the second thing I'm going to talk to you about is me and Katie, we went and saw a play at the Melbourne Theatre Company last year, I can't remember if it was early this year or if it was last year, and it was Dracula,
mm,
and it was an Australian Gothic play.
mm.
And it was stunning.
Wasn't there a lot of gore? Like, didn't you tell me that
Yeah.
like yeah.
Oh my God, it was so fucking cool because like I'll just sort of quickly because I know it's not a movie, but it's amazing.
Mm,
Like the set was just made up of like this empty sort of room that had this massive table in the middle. And then the back end was like a series of, I think it was like six doors or eight
mm,
doors or something like that. And then the guy who plays Dracula, he played it so slowly.
Mm,
Like whenever he talked, he just talked like this, and he would like he was manipulating people,
mm,
and so people would like ask him a question, and before they'd finish asking the question, he'd already be starting his answer. So he'd talk over them because he could read their minds and stuff like
mm,
that. And there's like this one scene where he kills the guy,
mm,
um, and then drags him like through one of the doors, right?
mm,
And then later on, because he turns him into a vampire,
mm,
when the guy comes out to become a vampire, one of the door, like the scene has ended,
mm,
right? It's like not lights to black or anything like that, but the scene has ended. Nobody's on stage. One of the doors opens, and a massive pile of dirt just comes pouring out of the door, like
mm,
flooding. Like the door was holding the dirt shut, and
mm,
he's in that pile of dirt.
mm,
And so then he gets up eventually, like he stays in that scene, dead in that
mm,
scene. And then eventually in the next scene, he like gets up and all this kind of stuff like that. And that pile of dirt just stays there on the stage.
mm,
And then there's another scene where like everybody's like become vampires at this point, or like the Dracula has gone crazy basically.
mm,
And the table, it has like a not clear, like a frosted glass top to it,
mm,
but it has like thick sides. And then this wave of blood, fake blood, just comes waterfalling out of the table,
mm,
spills down the stage, like towards the audience.
mm,
It's so fucking cool.
mm,
And this is the thing that makes me so frustrated by live theatre because obviously, like, I'm into theatre, I'm into drama, I teach drama, blah, 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 blah. My problem is that I can't ever experience that again.
mm,
I can't watch that again. Like I can only go from my memory of that and
mm,
remembering the bits and pieces. But I would love to have a recording of that performance
mm,
and watch it again and again and again and again and again. And I can't. And so I think that's one of the things that's like so good. Like this is such a stupid thing to say, but like that's what's so good about movies. You
mm.
can watch them again. But
Oh,
like,
yeah.
that's only recent technology.
Mm.
Back in like the 50s, if you went and saw a movie in the cinemas, you couldn't then watch it again.
Oh,
That
yeah,
was
for
it. That
sure.
was you watching it.
Yeah, until like syndicated television comes in like the
Yeah.
60s or 70s.
And okay, there's recordings of performances and plays and things
Mm.
like that, but not of every single one.
No.
I remember there was a play that I watched years ago. This would have been like 15 years ago. No, it wasn't because I was teaching. It would have been like 10 years ago.
Mm.
I went and took my year nine students to see this play. I knew nothing about it. It was called The Boy on the Edge of the Universe. It was funny. It was cute. It was sad. It was beautifully written. It was about this boy who like ends up on the edge of the universe and he watches his family on Earth like live life without him.
Mm.
And then he manages to like come back to Earth and all this kind of stuff like
Yeah.
that. And it was so clever and it was so funny. And the kids absolutely loved it and I loved it. I can never get that.
Mm.
I can never get that.
Mm.
And isn't that so sad? Because you go, I really want to watch that again.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just talking about those made me think of those plays.
Mm.
But that Dracula play was just phenomenal. So good. One
Yeah.
of the best plays I've seen in a long time.
No. That's fine.
Yeah.
I would say my favorite is The Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Yeah.
I watched that film for the first time in the last couple of years and I was shocked how enjoyable it was.
Again,
Yeah.
slimy monster
Yeah.
from the deep. Yeah, that's right.
But all like so many of these movies, I mentioned like we talked about before, like, have like a romantic element as well.
Mm,
Like King Kong falls in love with the girl, the Gill
yeah.
Man falls in love with the girl. Like it's all like
It's all
Dracula.
about trying to humanize the monster a
Mm.
bit, I think.
I think I would agree with you that Count Orlok is the scariest.
Yeah.
Like, at least from a visual point of view,
Yeah.
like, definitely the scariest to look at. And in terms of ones I could beat or couldn't beat, I don't know. I think I could beat any of them. Like,
I
they're
reckon
all,
you can beat Frankenstein pretty easy.
that's true.
Like
Yeah.
he's not smart, he's not fast.
No, but he's strong, and if you get cornered, you don't have fire. Like, that's it. The mummy is probably hard to escape as well. As long as you stay away from Egypt, you're fine.
Yeah, that's right.
And like the Gill Man, as long as you stay away from water, you're fine. But
Yeah.
specifically the Black Lagoon. All right, let's jump to 60s. Now, I couldn't
Hmm.
find a ton of monsters and original villains. Like there are, like 60s was the era of the monster movie, the schlocky monster movie.
Mm. But a lot of it's aliens.
Yeah, or like giant bugs or ants
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
that's
And like I
right,
wanted to go with something that
exactly.
you would be
It's
familiar
like they
with.
came from beyond, and it's like giant, yeah,
So I'm giving.
spiders or
So we
something.
got three. We got three monsters slash villains. Which should make it easy to pick.
Yeah.
So there's zombies from Night of the Living Dead, which is a
Hmm.
movie you've seen. You've seen that one.
Coming to
Get
get
you,
you,
Barbara.
Barbara.
Yeah. Godzilla.
Yeah.
And Norman Bates from Psycho.
Right. And
The
what are your questions again?
scariest, favorite, and if you could outrun one, I suppose, or
Um,
survive one.
uh, Scariest. That's hard
Mm,
because because do you go from the fear factor of Norman Bates is an actual human being
mm.
and a murderous human being and it like fucking is a psycho,
Mm.
or do you go for zombies?
Well, if you go zombies from that particular movie, and remember,
Yeah.
we can
And they're
go,
slow moving
they're
zombies.
slow-moving
Yeah.
zombies, and if you remember it, by the end of the night, it's over
Yeah, that's
in
right.
that
You just have to
movie.
survive the night.
I know that they went on to make Dawn of the Dead and Day of the Dead, but
Mm.
I've watched them all, but I can't remember if they're all linked or whether they just all happen to like share the brand name. Like, I don't think
Yeah.
they're actually sequels, but horror nerds are listening to this and being like, "You idiot!" Like, but they're slow-moving, and yeah, like they are like the morons in the movie locked themselves in a cabin all night, which was which had a basement. Like let's stay in the
Yeah.
basement. Like oh, the place with no escape. Um, so
I
yeah.
feel like Norman Bates is probably the one you could escape from the easiest
Hmm.
because, like, you just have to be pretty fucking dumb to, like, not call. Wait, does he cut the phone lines?
Well, he runs the motel and he has a key to all the rooms. So he like comes into the room and kills her while she's in the shower.
Yeah, but you can always just like, if you're getting creepy vibes, just be like, I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Well, I don't know if she was getting like she was like obviously
Yeah,
inside she's distracted. She's got
yeah,
other things
she's
going on,
distracted.
so
That's
she's not really
exactly
paying
right.
attention to it.
That's exactly right. Um,
Because when like the other people come in the second half of the
but it's
film,
just inconvenient that she's in the shower. Like
yeah,
I could always just not be having a shower.
yeah.
I could always be in the kitchen making dinner with a massive knife.
Mm.
So
Yeah, I didn't get like a vibe that he was particularly strong. He was
no,
just, but he's the first one. He's the first slasher villain. Like
yeah,
he's the
that's
first
right,
one.
exactly.
Well, him or the guy from Peeping Tom. They're both
Yeah.
like around the same
I
time.
think Godzilla is the one that you are gonna escape from the least.
Just because of his
Just
range.
because of his like are we talking a Godzilla that can spit fire?
All of them can spit fire, I'm pretty
Okay.
sure, yeah.
Yeah, so
Well,
literally
it's not even
like
fire, it's like nuclear
yeah, exactly.
power.
So you're literally just like in your apartment in Tokyo, just
Mm,
enjoying lunch, and then all of a sudden you're completely obliterated and you
mm,
don't even know why because you
mm,
haven't seen it. Because you could, because like you might not be facing the window while this is happening.
mm. Depends
Um,
which Godzilla though, as well, because in early films and in the most recent one, Godzilla Minus One, he
comes from the ocean.
comes from the well, he always comes from the ocean.
Mhm.
But he is an antagonist, like he's destroying Tokyo and stuff like that. But then in the sequels, like he ends up being like mankind's friend and saves them from Mothra and stuff like that. So
Yeah, 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 yeah. But
so
we're not talking that.
well, you can talk whatever you like because you got a whole franchise worth of Godzilla
Well, then
support.
it starts to get too complicated,
Yeah.
doesn't it? I still think Godzilla is the one that you are going to escape from the hardest
Mm,
because even if you're talking the modern ones and they're like, something's happening in the water, everybody evacuate the city, you still have to go through that evacuation. You
mm,
still have to go through all of that traffic, all of the packing your bags and all that sort of stuff like that. And you never know when he's going to strike.
mm,
And so he might step on you while you're in the car
mm,
waiting to escape. Like
mm.
you don't know.
Yeah.
Or like if he's fighting Mothra, you could be that collateral damage
Yeah.
that's like, in your basement or something like that. And then Mothra and him like smash into the ground and
Mm,
then you crush to pieces. So I think even if you're not killed by Godzilla, you're killed by the collateral damage that he
yeah.
makes
If you're in the
by falling
city that he's
clumps
yeah.
of debris and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like if you're in Australia, then guess what?
Yeah.
You can escape Godzilla pretty easily because he's not there.
Well, if he's in Japan, like and he sets a tidal wave, it could come to Australia. You
Yeah,
don't know
that's true.
how
So, well,
powerful.
this is the thing. So,
Yeah.
like, you got to think if you're going to be in that world.
Yeah.
So, I think Godzilla is going to be the one that you escape from the hardest.
Mm.
Um, the zombies from those type of zombies. Well, see, this is the thing because zombie lore has changed so many times.
Mm.
And so if you're going zombies that only exist on that one night in that one place and they are slow moving, then yeah, you can probably survive that
Yeah.
if you're smart
Yeah,
about
if
it.
you're talking like 28 days later,
If
if
you're
you're
talking
talking the
28 days, like
sadness, if
no,
you're talking like those fast
like
moving aggressive ones,
then no, like
no.
I would shoot myself
Mm.
first. Because I could not live in that world
Yeah.
where people are like selling body parts to get cans of beans and shit like I don't want to
Was
do
that in
that.
28 days later?
No, I'm just making something
Oh,
up.
I was like, what a great idea. Like, oh
You
my,
know what I mean? Like as in
yeah.
because like that whole like there's a reason why I don't watch The Walking Dead. I
Yeah.
do not need that in my life. I
Mm.
don't need that whole like survivalist mentality of like going from place to place and the streets are deserted and there's all these cars that have been ransacked
Mm.
through and I'm eating nothing but shoelaces for dinner and like I don't want to do that. Um, Whereas Norman Bates, I could just cut his dick off and he would bleed to death and then I would run.
Mm.
What do you think?
Yeah, it's tough because I think like if you put yourself in each of those scenarios, I think Godzilla is the one I'm scared of the most. I don't think of
Mm,
him as scary. I'm like, oh, he's cool. Like he's a big monster. And that's awesome. But if you put yourself in each of those worlds, Godzilla is the scariest threat of all.
yeah,
Like that is the one that is nearly definitely inescapable. And even if
yeah,
you're in another country, like who's to like he's so big, who's to say he's not going to be like, well, now I'm going to snack on something
yeah,
down under.
literally
Like,
three steps over and he'll
yeah,
reach Hawaii or something.
yeah. Um, but I think he's probably my favorite of the ones as well. Like I do like zombies, and I do like Norman Bates, but I think like Godzilla, just from a design point of view, like he's like the coolest looking one.
Yeah,
Norman
I
Bates is
think
just
I think I like Godzilla the best as
yeah,
well out of
Norman
the
Bates is
three of
just a
them.
guy in a suit.
I
Like
used to, yeah, exactly. I used to love the first version of SimCity. You could
send a
send
monster,
you could
yeah.
send a Godzilla to destroy the city. That was always fun.
Alrighty, so now we're going to the 70s, and this is the introduction of it, like our modern popular monsters. We're going to come with hear a lot of familiar faces now, and some that you won't know. Um, so we have the Xenomorph, which is the alien from Alien.
Mm-hmm.
We have Michael Myers.
Uh-huh.
We have Leatherface from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yep.
We have the mutants from The Hills Have Eyes, which is the guy with the bald
Mm-hmm.
head.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you haven't seen this, but there's the cult from The Wicker Man, and they dress up as animals and stuff like that.
Okay.
There's the shark from Jaws,
Mm-hmm.
and we have Pazuzu, which is the demon from The Exorcist.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So, favorite, if you have, I don't know if you've seen, oh, you would have a favorite in there. There's definitely at least a couple of films you've
What
seen.
was the first couple?
The Xenomorph from Alien,
Uh-huh.
Michael Myers,
Yeah.
Leatherface.
Yeah. I think the Michael Myers Leatherface like slashes are probably the ones that I would struggle to escape from the most because
More than the
unlike
demon from The Exorcist.
well, I haven't seen The Exorcist,
Mm,
so I don't know.
Or the Xen.
How does the girl come across the demon?
Oh, what a great question. I think, oh, how does she? I haven't seen it in a few years.
I'll just do a spell and like I won't have a demon.
Mm.
I'll just wear like some sort of talisman or something.
It's a pretty strong demon. They have to get like a number of priests die fighting him.
Yeah.
But sure.
Um, no, I think the difference between Norman Bates and like Leatherface Mike Myers is because
Mike Myers?
Mike Myers,
Ruby.
Michael
Groovy, baby.
Michael Myers,
Yeah.
the same name.
I love that
Um,
joke in Baby Driver where they're like, you gotta get Mike Myers mask. He comes back with Mike
yeah.
Myers. Yeah.
Is because Norman Bates is just this pathetic man
Mm.
who's crazy and has a desiccated version of his mother in the basement
Mm.
and is like he's weedy.
Yeah.
He's weedy.
He's just a man.
He's just
He's
a
a
man.
mortal man.
He's a
Like,
mortal man who is not strong.
mm.
I don't think he plans his kills. I think he's just kind of like the voice in my head says to kill, mother says to kill, so I
Like,
do it.
I think there's like a time of passion element
Yeah,
to it as well.
I
Like,
think
because
so.
it's definitely like, and they talk explore more in the sequels. There's definitely like a sexual deviancy element to it because
Yeah,
he's a perv and stuff like
yeah,
that. Like,
exactly. Whereas I think Leatherface and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, that's strong,
mm.
men who are like really built to destroy you.
Mm.
Like I
And the
remember,
cannibals.
and oh, are they cannibals as well? That's
Yeah.
right, because he has a belt of nipples. Do you remember that? That is because we rewatched, we
You mentioned
watched
the
the.
first one, haven't you? The original.
I thought you showed me the new one years ago,
I may have.
and he had like a lampshade that was made of skin, and there was a belt of
Yeah.
nipples
That would be in the 2003
hanging
one, I think.
hanging from something.
Yeah, with Jessica Biel. Because we've seen the 70s one. You, me, and Josh watched that
Yeah.
together. Yeah,
Okay.
if like I would say 10 Halloweens ago
Yeah.
easily. He came over and we watched that, and then we started watching The Shining, and you guys were like, "Why are you watching like these ones that are making us sleepy?" I'm like, "They're good movies." So I might have tuned the original one. The original one's pretty good.
Because I remember
Not
you
the original one, the
saying,
remake, sorry.
you're like, I looked over and there was like a belt of nipples. And so we had to watch it so that we could see the belt of nipples. And I was like, you know what, that is weird. Um, so I think they would be the hardest ones
Mm,
and the demon because, well, this is the thing, all supernatural ones are going to be hard to escape from
mm,
because you can't control that. You can't
mm,
control the supernatural element. You walk over a grave and the spirit has gone into you, and so you're fucked, aren't you?
mm.
Um, so yeah, so I think those would be the hardest ones to escape from. I think the coolest one is probably the xenomorph.
Yeah.
Even though I hate it, it's still the coolest one.
Because so dribbly.
Yeah, it's gross.
It's hungry.
Yeah. I remember I watched, what's the one where she gets pregnant really quickly after having sex and then the baby bursts out? That's Species,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Have you seen Species?
Oh, well, here's the thing. It was on TV. I haven't seen Species. It was on TV.
Mm.
And I must have been saying goodnight to my mum or something like that. And that
Because
scene,
that is not a Tina movie.
no. And I would have been, I don't know, 8
I
at the
would
time.
I would I would probably brand Species as like erotic sci-fi.
Yes,
It's
because
very sexual.
I watched the sex scene.
Oh, with all the like yeah.
I don't remember it, but I remember watching a sex scene and then the guy went to the bathroom or something like that, or she went to the bathroom, and then yeah, she rapidly started getting pregnant,
Mm,
and then her stomach split open in a cross,
mm,
and the alien came out, and I was like, I'm gonna get that now because it's just scary,
mm.
and I could not get that, and I still to this day, like thoughts of pregnancy cannot be triggered without thinking of that
Yeah.
basically. And obviously, I know that's not going to happen to me.
No.
But just the way that it peeled apart, I don't know.
Like an
Okay, this is,
orange.
do you know what?
Yeah.
This is an extremely niche. Your listeners won't know this, but you will know exactly what I'm talking about.
Mm,
You know the Roald Dahl cookbook?
mm.
And you know on the last page, the pillow,
Yeah.
and the pillow has
Yep.
the two,
Yep.
the
I know exactly what you're talking about. That's very, very deep cut.
the pillow, it's like this pillow that's made out of icing.
Mm.
It's got marshmallows inside it, and the icing has been cut and folded back in a way
Yeah.
where it's just thick fondant and it
Mm.
looks exactly like that pregnant
Mm,
belly.
yeah. I don't know who the scariest. I guess probably Pazuzu from The Exorcist. That's pretty scary. Like
But do
possession.
you actually see the demon?
Um, yes. And it's just like face paint. It's just like basically what they do is because it's like 1970s that they use like film overlay.
Mm.
So like you just see like in the corner of the screen like a flicker and it's like someone with like dark face paint. It's very like aggressive.
That's
Yeah.
scary. I don't
Yeah.
like that.
But also just
I better not get any nightmares tonight.
The Reagan makeup I think is terrifying.
Yeah,
Like it's pretty creepy.
I
So I
don't.
think that's pretty scary. My favorite also the Xenomorph. I'm not scared of Leatherface because he doesn't leave Texas. Um, Michael Myers, if he was hunting, you would be like especially he's probably the most brutal of them all. Like he's
Mm.
definitely the most violent. And the shark in Jaws, I'm not going to
Oh yeah, Shark and Jaws. I think he's probably my favorite one.
definitely like oh, is he my favorite? Is that my favorite movie? Oh, there's so many good ones in there.
I think he's my favorite one because it's just like he looks so big.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. All right, let's jump to the 80s. We've got a few more decades to go. 80s is probably going to be where I would say most of these are familiar to you.
Mm.
We got Jason
Yeah.
from Friday the 13th. We got Freddy Krueger. You haven't seen this movie. We got Angela from Sleepaway Camp. Um, you can kind of discredit her. You're like
Mm.
you're probably never gonna watch that movie. The Predator,
Hmm.
The Thing,
Hmm.
and then Pinhead from Hellraiser.
Hmm.
So coolest, favorite, scariest.
I think Freddy Krueger is the
That doesn't
scariest
surprise me at all.
because I've always been scared of that concept ever
Mm,
since I was like little, where you are killed in your dreams and then you
mm,
die in real life. And it all comes from that Simpsons episode where they spoof
yeah.
Freddy Krueger.
And
And so
it's Groundskeeper Willie, yeah.
I'm turning 36 this week
Mm,
and I still cannot watch that episode.
mm,
And I will never be able to watch it. Like it speaks too deeply
mm,
into my fears.
mm,
So that one is the scariest to me. I think the stupidest looking is Pinhead. I know that's not your question, but I
mm.
think he looks like a fucking idiot.
Really? I actually think it looks really cool like
No,
that.
I'm like, give me a hammer so I can hammer all those nails in because you're snagging all of my jumpers.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah, there's never been a scene in a Hellraiser film where he's going through someone's closet. And you're like,
like that's all you'd have to do. You just have to throw a blanket on him.
like,
He
hey,
wouldn't be able to get it off.
mm.
Um, so maybe he's the easiest to. What does he do?
Um,
Like, is he
he's like
supernatural?
a guardian of hell, and like he takes so like basically, I'll be honest, like I've talked about this openly on the podcast before. I really struggle to understand the Hellraiser films. I've watched them. I think visually they're very cool, but I don't really get it. So
Yeah,
ultimately, he's like the leader of the Cenobites, who are these demons from like another dimension, and they're like basically just like BDSM.
right. Yeah,
They are the line between pleasure and pain, and like they
right.
torture people and stuff like that,
Okay.
and they tear people apart and all
Yeah.
that sort of stuff. Like, yeah,
Well, then he would probably really enjoy having all of his nails hammered back into his
yeah.
head. He would get some sort of kink off that.
And a new look. He's like, oh,
Yeah,
finally,
moved
like I
over.
can put my,
That's why I keep chasing after
I can
people
wear
that are
hats.
thin. Yeah.
Hellraiser, I can wear hats.
um, who are the other ones?
The Thing
The Thing.
and
What's
Predator.
the Thing is the one in
That's the one in the snow.
but the old one
Mm.
is the Thing invisible
I don't know. I'm gonna buy it later this year when I go and do my big shop. The Thing.
or is it just like in? It's not the fog. The fog is different.
The focus different. So there's the Thing from the 80s. There's one from the 50s which I've never seen. The one from the 80s is the one that we've seen with Kurt Russell, and then there's the sequel, the
So
prequel from.
yeah, but what is it?
It's a shapeshifter.
It's a shapeshifter.
Yeah,
That's right. Okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's probably, I reckon that's the one that's going to be the hardest to escape from,
yeah, I agree.
other than Freddy Krueger, because what are you going to do without sleep? But you can trap him in your dreams if you plan it.
If you watch Dream Warriors, you can fight back. You can use your dreams
Yeah.
and Hunger Games against it. I'm not telling you to. Or if you watch Freddy versus Jason, which I think you have seen Freddy
I
versus
think
Jason,
I
you can hold on to him and get someone to wake you up, and you'll pull him out of your dream, apparently, into the real,
can't. Don't know.
which he has no powers in.
Oh, cool.
Um,
Um, I think the Thing is probably the one that you're going to escape from the hardest
mm,
because shapeshifting is just like impossible
mm,
unless there's like some sort of tell where it's like shape-shifting but they can't talk,
yeah.
or shape-shifting but they ooze something
Mm.
when you cut them.
No, they're like perfect replicas.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. If they're perfect replicas, you're fucked.
yeah.
What are the other ones?
So Jason, Freddy, Angela from Sleepaway Camp, which you haven't
Yeah.
seen. She's just a teenage girl. Um, Predator, The Thing, and Pinhead.
Predator is the one I hate the most because he's so fucking ugly.
Yeah, I prefer helmet on Predator. Predator.
Yeah.
With the helmet on, he's the coolest
Yeah,
looking.
yeah, yeah.
With the
With the
helmet
helmet
off,
off, it's just like this jaw. Like it's fucking ugly.
yeah,
And the dreadlocks, I'm sorry, no.
yeah.
Um, and Jason, what are your questions?
Coolest, favorite, scariest.
What did I say was the
You said
scariest?
Freddy was the scariest.
Yeah, Freddy's the scariest.
Well,
Coolest.
it's really just favorite and scariest, and we just talk about it, and you can talk about the other ones if you want. So there's no rules.
Jason's cool or not?
It's not
He's
cool.
not
He's a
cool.
mama's boy.
He is. He's just like Norman Bates, isn't he? He's like Norman Bates 2.0. He's
Mm.
like Norman Bates, and if Leatherface had a child.
He looks cool, but it took 3 movies to get to that look.
He looks cool only with the hockey mask on.
Yeah,
He looks pretty shit with. He looks like Quasimodo.
yeah.
Um, I'm gonna say the coolest one, unfortunately, is also Freddy as well. Because as much as I don't like it and it's
Mm,
scary, I think it's pretty cool to manipulate dreams
mm.
and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think my favorite is still Jason. Like from style point of view, from like a franchise point of view, I like all those movies. Scariest and hardest to escape is definitely the thing. I'm not afraid of Freddy Krueger because he only really hunts teenagers.
Mm.
So I've passed that part in my
Yeah.
life. He's probably not going to come after me. He can't feed off like my energy. So
Yeah.
he's like, oh, this guy makes a noise when he sits up. Like I don't want his energy. Alrighty. So jumping to the 90s, we've got a few. We've got Ghostface from the Scream films.
Hmm.
Now you've only seen one Scream film, so I will tell you
Yeah.
that the killer's identity changes every movie.
Yeah.
Um, which is kind of cool. We've got Chucky from the Child's Play
Hmm.
films, Pennywise the clown.
Hmm.
So you can go 90s or you can go modern. They're both pretty creepy looking.
Hmm.
Um, Edgar from Men in Black, the giant cockroach.
Oh yeah.
Not really horror, but like it's a cool monster. I'm
Yeah.
like any chance to mention Men in Black.
Yeah.
Um, so John Doe from Seven, so the Kevin Spacey character from Seven.
Yeah.
He does the Seven Deadly Sins. Annie Wilkes from Misery, the Candyman, and Hannibal Lecter.
Hmm.
You'll notice a lot less supernatural
And
ones now.
more
We're
real
going
people.
more human.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. What were the first ones?
Ghostface,
Ghost,
Chucky,
okay,
and
so
Pennywise.
Ghostface is immediately out of all of them. Ghostface is the least coolest looking.
Hmm.
Like, I think he looks so lame and so shit with his stupid
Really
little plastic fucking
interesting.
face. Like,
Such striking imagery, though. It's just
it
like
is striking imagery. But
you
it's
think he's less cool than Chucky?
no, like visually.
Really?
Well, Chucky, the thing about Chucky is that Chucky can change. I don't know. I'm trying to justify my choice now. Chucky is also a piece of shit.
Like I've seen like maybe one or two Chucky films. I like that is a franchise I can't like everyone's like, oh, he's so cool.
No,
I'm like
oh no, he's not.
I'm
He's
like
not cool.
I'm like, you kick him in the fire, and they literally did in the first movie. They kicked him in the
Yeah,
fire. Like all you have to do is keep your distance,
yeah,
so it doesn't like get a butter knife to your toes because
yeah,
he can't carry a butcher's
yeah.
knife. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah. I don't like Chucky either.
Yeah.
Um, maybe because we kids of the 90s,
Mm,
we don't like I just never liked Ghostface. I just thought it was like, oh, look at you, you're so shit. You think
mm.
you're so fucking cool and you're famous, sort of thing. So I don't know. I just never liked Ghostface.
Mm.
Yeah, Chucky's a piece of shit. I hate him too.
I think the
Um,
scary thing about Ghostface is he's doing it
just for the joy.
for the worst reason. Like not the worst reason, like what a dumb reason. Oh, this is kind of a dumb reason. It's like basically just trying to like get people excited about horror movies. It's
Yeah,
like, yeah.
I don't know. Um, what are the other ones?
Pennywise,
Pennywise is pretty scary.
and he's a shapeshifter as well.
Yes.
He's an alien, like he's a creature from another
Yeah.
dimension, and he shapeshifts to your worst fear.
Yes, so that I think is the coolest and the scariest,
Mm.
and the thing that I would struggle to escape from the most. I reckon that one is probably all three.
I would probably agree.
Mm.
I do like Edgar from Men in Black a lot,
I
but
don't think he's hard to escape from.
oh no, like he was very easy to defeat in that
He's not
movie.
cool either.
He's just
Like
like
he's funny,
yeah,
but he's not cool.
and he's only funny when he's Vincent
Yeah,
D'Onofrio. Like
exactly.
yeah. I do like Ghostface. I think visually, like I think he's very striking, very cool. Annie Wilkes is really scary as well. I think she's quite scary. But not as scary as Pennywise.
Yeah.
Two Stephen King characters, by the way. All right, that was pretty easy actually. So 2000s, our second last decade. I didn't do
Hmm.
2020s. There's nothing really new in the 2020s at this stage.
Yeah.
So 2000s, you got Jigsaw.
Now, do you mean the little toy on the bicycle jigsaw?
I mean the man, the guy like John Kramer who abducts and
Okay,
creates the
right.
traps.
So yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So not the little thing with the
he
circles on his
he doesn't
cheek.
do anything. He's just a video
Yeah, but
messaging.
he's the visual representation of Jigsaw.
Yeah, but no, like because no, otherwise it's like, are you afraid of this? Like it's worse than Chucky because you can't even move.
You can
Um,
try to buy.
yeah, it was a wind-up toy, I think.
Yeah.
So Jigsaw,
Mhm.
you've got Samara, which is the girl from The Ring, the
Oh
But
yeah,
like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Firefly Flammy, the Firefly family, who are like from the Rob Zombie films. You haven't seen them, so
Yeah,
but they're kind of like Hills Have Eyes 2.0. Like they're
yeah.
pretty nasty. Um, there's Esther from Orphan, which you haven't seen, so
But I've seen the cover of.
yeah, and she's spoilers for a film. Actually, you would probably be okay with Orphan. It's not very scary, but basically the twist is spoilers for like a 15-year-old movie. She's not a little girl. She's like a 30-year-old Russian woman who looks like a little
Mm.
girl. Like, um, there's the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers.
I don't
Um,
remember that. Was it
and
like a big slug or something?
no, he's like a monster. Look, but
Okay.
he has a driver's license and he has personalized plates on his truck. I don't know how he got them because he's a monster. But
A monster that looks like what? Because I'm picturing the slug.
let me pull up the creeper for you. He's not.
Isn't the cover of that like a whole bunch of slugs or
That's
worms or
Slither. Um,
oh, I thought that was Jeepers Creepers.
no, I'll show you Jeepers Creepers. Give me a second.
I can look it up while you're
There he is.
going through the
That's the.
list. Oh God.
You said you wanted to see what it looked like. He wears like a big hat.
What's a big cat?
He does. He's so weird. Like he drives a truck. Um, there's the strangers. So you haven't seen the movie, but they just wear the different masks. The two girls like wear like doll face masks, and the guy
Okay.
wears like a bag on his head, kind of like Michael's puppet for Oscar.
Yeah.
Um, and then there's Death from Final Destination, who doesn't have a physical form, but like you've seen the Final Destination
Yes.
movies, so like just basically,
Yes. The concept of death.
yeah,
Yeah.
but brings like balance to life and death
Yeah.
in the
That's
world.
right.
So those are your,
Well, obviously the hardest one to escape from would be death,
but there is the trick in that one.
which is you
You
come, you get,
if
do
you
you do
say
CPR?
if you save a life when someone's supposed to be died, then it skips you or something like that. Like there are like they do find a way to like to beat it, and if you can beat death at its own game, then you won't get hunted anymore.
So what, you just live forever?
No, you will die naturally, but you won't die like by having like a shard of glass fall from the roof or
Yeah,
something.
yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
in
that's
a
right.
horribly graphic
Well, I
way.
still think in order to do, like, how do you know you're not going to be the first people before the credits start?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
for sure.
You don't know
Well, if you're the
because
one with,
those movies
if you're the
always start
if you're the one
with
with
someone just driving down the road and then a log truck fucking.
well, but there's always someone who gets a premonition. So if you're the one with the premonition,
Oh, yeah, there is
you're the
someone with
one who, if you're the one who
that's
gets the
right.
premonition, you're the one who has the best chance at cheating death. And if you're not arrogant or obnoxious and be
Yes,
like,
that's right.
this isn't real, then you'll probably survive as
Yeah,
well.
exactly. So like if let's say you, me and Zoe in the car and
Mm.
you get the premonition, I'll be like, cool, we won't go then.
Yeah.
And we just stay home. But does the fate then change? Or do we just
Well,
avoid
if
it?
we avoid it, then death starts coming after us because we cheated death. So then we have to stop. Then we have to try and
Okay, so
outwit
then
death.
yes, it is the hardest one to escape from.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah. The coolest one, I think, is can I see the list instead of
Yeah,
you just telling me them?
yeah,
Um, I reckon well, I don't know the Firefly family. I've seen the picture of Esther. Just saw the picture of the creeper. I haven't seen a picture of the strangers. So the only thing I can go by is the coolest one is Samara.
yeah. She's pretty cool
And
and really
then what's,
tragic as well.
yeah, what's the other question?
Scariest.
Scariest. I would probably also say Samara
Yeah.
as well.
Do you remember there was that scene in Community where
Yeah.
like it was really creepy.
Yeah,
Like they really
it
just
was really creepy.
I would
The
agree.
problem that I'm having is that even though I'm not watching all of these things, because we're going over it,
You're getting scared.
I'm getting scared, like
Well,
in my mind.
that's
And
why I
I'm
saved
gonna go to the bedroom.
that's why I saved round three for last because that's gonna be a bit of fun.
Yeah.
And then we'll watch something fun.
Is there
Well,
anything behind me?
yes. The couch.
Oh, fuck off. Go get fucked.
There's been so much cursing in this episode. I would agree that death is the hardest to escape. I think maybe the strangers look the coolest. I think their masks are really cool. Um, and the scariest, I don't know. With Samara, you have to watch the video. Well, VHS doesn't exist anymore, so I'm probably okay there.
Yeah, but there'd be some modern
Yeah,
version. You watch so many movies.
that's true. Um,
How do you know that one of your discs isn't cursed?
But I think Jigsaw, like I've seen all those films, like I just don't think I have what it takes to escape any of those traps.
Yeah.
Like so
But
that's
wouldn't there be a reason as to why he would be coming after you?
well, that's the thing in the subsequent films, like because spoiler alert, in the third one, Jigsaw dies, and then he has like apprentices take over.
Yeah.
Some of them stop following the rules and just like use it as a chance to like get revenge and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so because of that, like it doesn't matter if they don't like you, man, it's just like to bump you up.
Mm.
Like, um, so yeah. Alrighty. Last group, 2010. You'll know a few of these. There's only like five or six, and you'll know at
Mm.
least half of them. Apologize for the first one, Annabelle.
I don't. Annabelle's the doll, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that was the
yeah,
one where like every time the trailer came on, you're like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
Art the Clown.
I don't know what that
I
is.
think you would have seen it in the
Oh,
Blu-ray,
it's
the
that.
black and white.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Um, I agree with you. The Armitage family, which is the family from Get Out, to
Yeah.
the White family.
Hmm.
We've got Kevin Wendell Crumb, which is James McAvoy in Split.
Yeah. Hmm.
And then there's the cult from Midsommar. So obviously, you haven't seen Midsommar.
Yeah. All right. This is not going to sound very nice,
Mm.
and I don't mean this in a racial kind of way.
Mm.
But obviously, the easiest one for me to escape from would be
The white
the
people,
white people,
old white men.
because I'm not African American, so they wouldn't come after me.
That is true.
Um, However, that being said, like if they change their circumstances and all this kind of stuff like that, that would be a
I would
very difficult situation to get out of.
I would say this though. I wonder if anyone's ever tried to leave the family before, and what challenge does that present?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I imagine like you can't just leave the family.
Yeah,
So, but yes, like in terms
yeah,
of being a victim, you're pretty safe.
yeah,
Do you
exactly.
know what I mean?
Annabelle, is it a cursed doll? As in,
Yes.
like, so there's a spirit living in it,
Yes.
and so then you have to destroy the spirit?
It cannot be destroyed. It has to be contained.
Right. Oh, so that's fucking stupid, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No, no, no,
It's locked up.
no,
It's locked up in the
no,
lounge room.
no, no. Like, when did we reach this point in, so we're just going through the decades now.
Yeah.
In which decade did we decide that spirits cannot be like destroyed? They just have to exist forever.
Mm.
That's fucking bullshit. Like, no, because then what the fuck are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Ah,
Well, if I'm honest, if I think about
if you
it,
destroy the doll, that's not destroying the spirit.
that's
It's
right.
just going to another
That's
doll or
right.
something like
That's why
that.
they keep it in the doll and it's locked up behind
Oh,
like a
this is
behind like a spell. If I think about it though,
I'm not liking this game.
I don't think anyone in the Annabelle films has actually died at the hands of the thing. Anyway, okay. So you can easily escape the Get Out family.
Yeah. Um, what Kevin Spacey one? No,
Okay, no, the
the
James McAvoy
the
one.
James McAvoy one.
Mm.
Well, I was gonna say that one's gonna be the hardest one to escape from, but now that I know that you can't vanquish the Annabelle spirit, then that's obviously gonna be the
Well,
hardest one, isn't it?
I'll say this about those movies 'cause I've seen two of the three.
How does it even end then?
Well, what happens is they always manage to contain the spirit back in the doll and then lock it up, and it never comes back to haunt another family. So if you're part of the family that's haunted, you have a scary couple of days, but you ultimately don't really suffer any, physical, damage or
But then
anything.
it just keeps going with again, and then it
Yeah.
keeps going again, and that's how they make a billion Annabelle movies or
Mm.
whatever it is. What does the clown do?
He's like a one-man jigsaw. So instead of creating traps, he's basically like he just kills people and harms them. Like think about
But
what
is he a real person or is he spirit?
he was a real person in the first film, and then he was resurrected in the sequels to become like supernatural.
Okay, all right. And like, what is his supernatural powers? Can he be killed?
He keeps coming back. So like he's been beheaded a bunch of times and then keeps coming back.
Okay, so he would be pretty hard to escape from as
Yeah,
well.
and you would be brutal. Like think about like how like brutal Jason can be.
Mm,
Like turn it up to like a
he'd be
hundred,
massacred.
like dismembered,
Um,
destroyed.
and what? after the Kevin guy,
Oh, that was the Midsommar cult.
the
Like,
Midsommar cult.
yeah,
I would say that's the coolest one
yeah,
visually.
yeah. They were
That's the
beautiful,
coolest
beautiful
one.
clothes,
Yeah,
fine linens.
what do they do in that cult? They eat people? They drink
No,
blood or
in so really, like they just want you to join their way of life, and then when you get too old to be honest, planning more, you have to kill yourself, basically.
oh well, that's not the worst thing in the world.
But if you're an outsider and you don't conform, they will murder you. So like, and that was pretty brutal. Like they drugged some guy, put him in a bear suit, and lit him on fire.
Yeah, but you get to wear pretty dresses and flower crowns. So
Yeah.
I would like if you're joining that cult,
Oh, I think it's an easy cult to join, and probably you're gonna be okay.
yeah, I
Like,
think so.
yeah,
So I think that's probably the one that is the coolest.
yeah. Um, yeah, I agree with you. Armitage family, probably the easiest to escape. Um, like that, like we would go to one of their barbecues not knowing what it was, and then just like make fun of it the whole time. But like,
Yeah,
what a bunch of weirdos.
yeah.
Um, I also think the
I
cult.
just realized I haven't washed my makeup off and now I can't go to the bathroom because I'm too scared.
Mm. I think the coolest or my favorite is probably either the cult or Kevin Wendell Crumb from Split. I really like that
Yeah, I really
performance.
like that too.
Like, what's the thing he says? He's like, "Can you taste it? It's cinnamon or whatever." Like, I don't know if it's cinnamon, paprika.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, God, I love that. Art the Clown is the scariest one for me. Like, that's I think for me of all like the
Visually, that's the
visually the
scariest.
scare. Like, I don't think I can look at any horror monster and be like, oh yeah,
Yeah,
that one. I'm like, I don't like. I'd rather not think about him visually.
yeah.
Like visually, he's unpleasant to look at.
Yeah. Like
Um,
I can only half picture it in my
mm,
brain because my brain is trying to shut the image out.
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. The guy who plays him is seems like such a sweetheart.
Mm.
He's literally like a guy with mime training and like
Yeah.
stuff like that. And he's like, and like it's interesting because in those movies, I will never ask you to watch those movies. They are
Yeah.
not for you.
Yeah.
Um, but he does play it with quite a bit of sense of humor, where the character like is obviously a villain, but then also like will just has a very slapstick mentality. So there
Mm.
will be moments. There's a moment where like he's stalking someone in the second film in a costume shop, and like every time she looks around him, he's wearing like a different pair of like um
Novelty glasses or
yes,
something.
exactly novelty glasses. Like he's got like birthday candle ones on and daisy
Yeah.
ones and stuff. Like there's a real sense of fun to it, but when you get to the violence, you're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, like
Yeah.
jeez. Um, all right. Let's wrap things up with something a little bit more fun, bit of a guessing game. I'm going to read out to you a list of celebrities. So I'm not going to participate in this one because I know the answers.
Yeah.
I'm going to read out a list of celebrities or actors, and I want you to tell me if they have one of their first roles was in a horror film or not. So I'm going to like, this is the person. Can you tell me was one of their first roles in horror, or have they not been in a horror film before? And I will give you bonus points if you can tell me what franchise you think they're from.
Yeah.
Some of them are going to be a little bit trickier than others, and that's totally fine.
Yeah.
Like, so starting off nice and easy, Jennifer Aniston. Was she ever in a horror film?
Yeah. Wasn't she in I Know What You Did Last Summer?
Not.
Scream? No.
You
She
are right. She
was.
was in a horror
Yeah,
franchise.
yeah,
Yeah.
she was in a horror franchise.
Uh,
But it's something like that. It's some
it's
90s
definitely a 90s horror film.
like the babysitter thing, like don't
With
call the
she was in a film with Warwick Davis, if that helps.
is it a supernatural one or is it
Kind
a
of supernatural. Like it's a creature.
oh I don't know.
It's the leprechaun.
Oh really?
Yeah,
Was
she was in
she?
the like, first role. All right, next up, Paul Rudd. And I'm not including Ghostbusters. We're talking early career.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes,
He was in a horror film.
but I don't know
Do you
what.
want to take a guess at what franchise? There's a couple of big
Was
ones.
it Scream or was it it's always gonna be either Scream or I Know What You Did Last Summer.
It was neither of those. It was Halloween. He was in
Was he?
Halloween 6.
Okay.
Um, Kevin Bacon.
Yes.
Okay.
Is it yes for all of them?
Maybe.
Because I'm just gonna say yes for all of
Okay, so
them
Kevin Bacon,
because I don't
yes.
actually know.
You've
Uh,
seen the one with Kevin Bacon in it.
Something about like a like teen, not Teen Wolf, but like
No,
a teen wolf. Is it something to do with a werewolf?
no.
It's from the
It
80s.
is from the 80s, yeah.
Yeah. Um, is it a supernatural one or a non-supernatural
No,
one?
it's a slasher.
The slasher from so is it like a Freddy movie?
Not Freddy, no.
Is it a nightmare movie?
No, that's the same thing.
Oh, sorry, a Jason. I meant
It
Jason. Is
is.
it a Jason movie?
Hmm.
It's not Jason X, is
No,
it?
that's
That's
90s.
90s, yeah. I don't know. Jason 3.
He's in the very first Friday the 13th.
Oh, really, is
Yeah, he
he?
plays one of the camp
Oh, there
counselors.
you go.
Yeah. And he has played the most brutal
That's
kill.
29.
It's like 81, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Matthew McConaughey.
I'm just gonna say yes.
He was.
hmm Is it in the
It is
90s?
in the 90s.
Okay. Is it I Know What You Did Last Summer or
No,
Scream?
I'll tell you this. I don't think any of them are none of them are those two
Okay, all right.
franchises.
None of
We can
them are those
eliminate
two
them, but
then.
it is a slasher,
It is a slasher.
kind of.
Um, Blair Witch Project? No.
No,
I don't even know if that's a slasher or not.
no, it's a witch film.
I don't know.
Texas Chainsaw
Oh,
Massacre.
really?
Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3.
Okay.
Renee Zellweger.
Yes.
Yes.
Seen it. I think I've seen her in a horror movie, but I can't remember what it is. Is it a slasher or is it a creature?
Slasher.
Is it um I don't know.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The
3.
oh,
In the same one as
yeah,
Matthew McConaughey.
okay, yeah.
Um, Adam Scott.
Yes.
Yes.
Is this is all at the start of the career?
Yeah, these are all the start of their
Yeah,
careers.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. So at the start of their careers. So it would have been in like the late 90s, early 2000s,
It's a 90s film.
the 90s film. It's not Scream because you
No.
said that
Scream is not in this.
yeah,
I know
not
we
in
did last
this.
time is
Yeah.
on it.
Okay. Is it a slasher or a creature?
It's not a slasher. It's
I don't know any of the movies though. That's
Mhm.
the problem.
That's why I said franchise, so you could just
Yeah.
kind of like,
Oh, that's right.
yeah.
Are a lot of them from franchises or are they mainly standalone
They're
films?
pretty much all
Oh,
franchises.
okay. All
Yeah,
right.
there are a couple, and I'll tell you if they're not franchises.
Oh, I reckon he might be from a Jason franchise.
He's not. He was in Hellraiser.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I never would have
No.
picked that.
Johnny Depp. This is
Yes.
probably the most
Yes, that this
famous.
one I know.
Oh, I said yes.
Yes.
I gave it away. Yes,
Because he was in Nightmare on Elm Street.
he was the very first one.
Yeah.
This one might not count as horror. It might be more of a thriller, but that's why I put it on there anyway. Seth Rogen.
Yeah.
And it's not a franchise. It's a standalone, and it was from like the early 2000s.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's specifically a horror. Like I'm just going to put that out there now, so people listening are like, "That's not a horror."
Oh, is it like also split with another genre? Like
Yeah,
comedy sort of thing?
no,
No.
it's like a sci-fi, possibly time travel, very dark film.
Donnie Darko?
It is Donnie
Oh,
Darko.
cool.
Yeah, he's in.
Okay,
Yeah,
wow. He's in Donnie Darko.
this one should be pretty obvious. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yes. Oh, but what is it?
She's been
You
in
thought it
like
was Scream.
no, she's been
No.
like 10 of them though.
Yes. I know what it is, but I can't remember what it is. Um,
I just want to point out to listeners that Tina is not a horror person at all. So for people screaming at
so
their
that's why it's like not a good guest to have on your on this podcast. Um, I thought it was Scream. No, it's not. Oh, I can't. You're gonna say it, and I'm gonna be like, of course it's that. I can't pull the name of the franchise right now. What is it?
Halloween.
Yes, of course it is.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Halloween. Yes.
This one is a standalone. Well, I gave you the answer again. I already said the yes, they are. It's a standalone. I don't expect you to know the answer to this one, but George Clooney. And it's not Batman and Robin.
I'm gonna guess yes.
Yeah, so I already gave
Yeah.
that to you.
Standalone. So I'm guessing that this is in the 80s.
Yes.
Standalone 80s horror movie. Is it supernatural or is it
It's
psycho
not.
killer?
You won't know the name of this one. I do have it, but you won't know the name of this
What
one.
is it?
It's called Return to Horror High.
Oh, okay.
But it was more about like, was George Clooney in a horror film? And
Yeah.
yes, he was. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yes.
Yes. This is a franchise.
This is a franchise. It would have been when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Because like the earliest thing I know
It's
that
pre
he
Gilbert
did.
Grape.
Oh, okay, because that's the earliest thing that I
Yeah.
know that he did. And he was really young in that.
Yeah.
So he's got to be really young in
Mm.
this. And it's a
Yeah.
franchise.
I don't know if you'll know the name of this franchise.
Well, that doesn't help me.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did think you would know Halloween, so
Yeah. I just forgotten about
yeah,
Halloween. Um, and I've forgotten that Halloween is a franchise
yeah.
also as well.
It's like 13 of them.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. I'm gonna take a stab in the dark and I'm gonna say, well, I mean, I would know that then. So it can't be like Nightmare because I know Nightmare on Elm
Yeah.
Street. I don't know.
It's from the Critters franchise.
Oh, with that guy, that creature that you showed me just before, Jeepers
No, no,
Creepers.
that's no. Critters is
yeah.
different.
Oh,
They're like
okay.
little hairball monster things. I've
Oh,
never
okay.
seen it,
All
but yeah.
right. I could have said like Gremlins.
Julie Louis-Dreyfus,
I'm gonna say
Elaine from
yes.
Seinfeld.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Yes,
say yes.
it is a franchise. There's only two of them though.
There's only two movies in the
Yeah, and
franchise.
I would be surprised if you like. I would say this is probably the most obscure so far, to be honest.
Well, then why ask me questions that I'm not gonna know the answer to?
Because it's just fun to talk about this.
Okay. So, well, it's got to be from the 80s.
It is from the 80s, yeah.
Is it a supernatural one or is it?
No. Like it's a creature. I don't know if he has supernatural powers or not because I haven't seen it. The sequel is widely regarded as the worst movie of all time, worse than even The Room.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, what's the worst movie of all time? I don't know.
So the movie she was in, which is not considered the worst movie of all time, is Troll. And then Troll 2 is
Oh,
meant to be
okay.
the worst
Yes,
movie of all
yes,
time.
yes, yes.
Um,
I never would have pulled that from my memory.
yeah. This next one you might get. The last one I think you probably won't know. But that's okay, because we're just having fun. You won't know whether they're in it or not, sorry, and then you won't know if it is a film. Chloe Grace Moretz.
Yes.
Yes.
Carrie.
She was in Carrie, but she was in a horror film before that.
Oh, well, I don't know.
In
And my answer is Carrie.
then no. In 2005, she was in the Amityville horror remake with Ryan
Yeah.
Reynolds.
Yep.
And then the last one, Jason Alexander, also from Seinfeld.
Yeah. I'm gonna say yes.
Yes, he was.
It's got to be the 80s as well.
It was the 80s. It was his first film.
Is it Troll?
Yes. No.
Is it a franchise?
No.
So it's a standalone film.
Yeah.
Is it the first Amityville horror?
No, it's not. It's a rip-off of a popular slasher film. If you can tell me what's a rip-off of, I'll give it to you.
Is it a rip-off of Jason?
It is. Yeah, he's in a movie called The Burning, and it was literally like a low budget steal of that. Like he has a bag,
Okay.
he has a bag on his head and everything.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So there you go. Those are our horror origins. You got a few. I mean, you got yes to all of them,
Yes to all of them.
which was good. So there we go. A little bit of Halloween fun this spooky season. We're gonna go watch something that's not scary at all now to wipe our palate clean. Do you want me to remove your makeup for you?
No, I'll just sleep in it.
Please be my memory.
Just so long as you stand in the bathroom with me.
Yeah. All right. Well, that was a pretty spooky episode, I think. It opened with Twilight. It ended with us almost peeing our pants. Do you have anything you want to say before we wrap things up this episode?
No, I'm all good actually.
Thank you for coming on and playing some spooky games with me.
That's right, no worries.
Like I regret it. I wish I wasn't terrified. Well, thank you everyone for listening. Not sure when the next episode will be. Hopefully it'll be next week. I've got a bunch of guests lined up. I've just had some scheduling issues being over here and time zones and stuff. It's been a little bit hard to navigate, but we should have some more regular episodes coming out soon. I've got at least 5 guests who want to come on, which is very good. Happy Halloween to everyone.
Happy Halloween.
Halloween week.
Like
All Saints Day. And that's going to do it. If you're following on Instagram, keep an eye out for my 90-second reviews. I'm popping them up pretty much every day at the moment. I am running out of reviews though, so it is going to go dry soon. But in the meantime, thank you for listening. If you haven't listened to some of the more recent episodes, go back and check them out. They're a lot of fun. But otherwise, as we say on every single episode of this show, I was a teenage film snob, but I'm trying to be better. We'll see you next week.